what's up everyone, welcome back to another guitar lesson. In this video we're going to be learning how to play one of the most famous songs of all time, as well as one of the most famous songs of the 80s. This song was released off of Journey's 7th album, Escape, in 1981, and it's called Don't Stop Believin'. I'm pretty sure you all know it. So I know this song is mostly dominated by Jonathan Cain's keyboard and piano parts, as well as Steve Perry's amazing vocals. However, behind the vocals are buried some pretty nice guitar parts played by Neal Schons. So we're going to take a look at all the rhythm guitar parts, the overdubs, and of course one of the most famous and greatest solos of all time. So I hope you enjoy it and have fun. Alright, so before any actual guitar parts come in, we only hear the keyboards and piano at the start of the part, which is played by Jonathan Cain, one of the greatest pianists and keyboardists of all time, amazing songwriter. And now the chords he's playing are actually the chords that the guitar is also going to be playing in the verse later on, so it's good to take a look at them. And of course you can play the actual full chords, but I'll show you the simple versions that you can play along on the guitar, so it's easier to move the shapes around. So first he's playing in an E chord, he's playing E power chord. Then he goes down to a B power chord. Then he goes to a C sharp. Then an A. Then you repeat that again. But this time, instead of going to the C sharp, go to the G sharp instead, and then finish on the A. So we have this. So that keeps repeating over and over again. That repeats for a few measures, and then some guitar parts come in, but they're very hard to hear. It actually sounds like a piano almost, and that's what I originally thought after, before I did some analysis of the song. Then I realized that those ding parts you hear every 4 measures, that's not actually a piano key, that's actually a harmonic. So Neal Schons, every 4 measures he's hitting the 7th fret on the high E string as a harmonic. So he does that a few times, then he goes down and hits the 5th fret on the B and the high E string. So after doing that a few times, then the first actual guitar part comes in, which is that little fast melodic lick that you hear. So that sounds like this. So it's pretty fast. Well, it speeds up. It starts off slow, but it gets faster. But what we're doing here is it's a 4-note sequence, and he has heavy amounts of delay on. If you can pretty clearly hear that. But what we're gonna play is the 7th fret on the high E string. Sorry, the B string. To 16 on the B. To 18 on the G. To 16 on the G. So that's the 4-note pattern. So it does that a few times before speeding up, and then he hits a monster bend with lots of vibrato on the 19th fret of the B string. And quickly jump down and grab the open E power chord, or you can play it here. Alright, so that begins the actual verse guitar parts, which come right after that. So in the first verse, you hear Alright, so that's in the first verse. The second verse, there's more guitar parts added, but for now, this is what we're having right here. Alright, so what we have here is it's a full-on B major chord, so you can play it up here too. I think there's 2 guitars going on. It's kind of hard to hear, but I believe there's 2 different guitars going on, and the overdubs both of them. But Ackerman play the lower part because the keyboard is playing the more higher part anyway. And if you play a lower part, it fits in better with the bass, and you can hear the guitar more instead of. Yeah, sounds better. So what you have here is we're gonna be chugging on the open A string the entire time. So that's the. If you hear that in between, that's what I'm doing. So he hits the B power chord, 4th fret on the D, G and B together. Then then he goes down to the A major, then back to the B major. Then we're gonna add this note right here. This is the E note. So we still have the 4th fret on the D and the G, but on the B, instead of putting the 4th fret, we put the 5th fret. So instead of this, we have this. Alright, so we repeat that. Alright, so it sounds like this. Then we switch up to here. So now instead of checking on the A string, we're checking on the low E string. So now we have this. So what we're going on here is we have this chord. This is also a B major, I believe. Yes, this is a B major. A B major to an E major. So that's the 9th fret on the D, 8th fret on the G, 7th fret on the B. And then we have a full bar across the 9th fret of the D, G, and the B string. So then we switch back to this. Sorry. Alright, then after that part you hear a transition going on, which is right when the whole band kicks in, and that's when you hear the other main guitar riff. So that transition is pretty easy. It's just power chords, and it sounds like this. So that's just 3 chords. B power chord, this is the open E power chord, back to the B power chord, to the open A power chord twice. Alright, so now we covered the little harmonics in the intro. We also covered the fast lick. We covered the palmier chords going on. We covered the main verse part. We covered the transition. So now we hear that main riff going on. This main riff goes on throughout the verse as well as the chorus. And like I said, this is the part where I was talking about before. There's 2 guitars going on. The first guitar is the thing I already showed you. Alright, that's the first guitar. That's the thing that's following the keyboard chords. This is the actual guitar part that's not following anything. It's just the guitar part. But so let me show you this riff. This is what it sounds like. Alright, so what we have here is, so after you hit the transition, so after you hit that A power chord twice, we hear this. So what that is that's an E power chord again, the low E open power chord. Then you're gonna hit the B and E strings open. It's kind of hard to do. You might miss the B string, you might hit the G string as well. It's fine. You just want that high end sound. Right? Hit the power chord, open E string, then we have this. So what that is, 4 on the low E string, to the open A, to the 2nd fret on the A. And 4, 6, 4 on the A. We have this so far. Alright. We have 1, 2 on the D to an A power chord. Then we have 1, 2 again on the D. back to that E power chord that we first hit when we started the riff. So once you hit that 1, 2, and go back to that E power chord, that starts the riff over again. So all together. So then the riff repeats again. Second time you repeat it, you go. So second time we repeat it. When you get to that 1, 2 on the D, instead of going to that A power chord, instead you're gonna do this. 1, 2 on the D, hit the G sharp power chord, and then the A power chord. So the first time there's a different ending, second time there's a different ending, and then just repeat over and over again. So I'm gonna play both endings back to back, how it is played in the song, right? Here we go. Alright, then you repeat it over again, right? So that's basically everything. And at the same time, those chords are going on alongside it. So you'll recognize. You don't have to know this part. It's a little bit like theory if you want to know. But you know, the keyboard is doing E, B, C sharp, A. So what you're doing, you hit the E power chord. So that you're kind of like a solo almost, where you're targeting the notes where the keyboard is playing. It's playing in E major. Sorry, E power chord. The open E string, while this is ringing out. So he's kind of targeting the notes. And when the keyboard goes to, when the keyboard shifts down to the B note, the guitar does that, targeting the B note. And then when the keyboard goes up to C sharp, he's targeting the C sharp. Pretty genius. Alright. That's just a little bit of theory going on. That just shows you how good of a songwriter Neal Schons really is, and how well he works with Jonathan Cain and the rest of the band. Then we have the last and final part, which is the solo. After the solo, these chords and that riff just keeps on repeating to the end of the song with that catchy chorus. Don't stop believing. I can't not sing. Anyway, I can play the solo though. Alright, so here's how the solo sounds like. That last bend is a little bit hard to get, because he's playing on a Gibson Les Paul, so it's a little bit easier to bend because his neck's in the way, but it's also a full step bend, and I don't want to break my strings. But besides that, the rest of the solo is pretty easy to replicate. It's very melodic, and that's what Neal Schons is known for, making very catchy solos, but at the same time, they're not very challenging. So we have a little fast lick. You can use legato or pick it. I prefer to pick it. It's 14, 16, 17 on the B string, and 14 on the high E, and then we bring in the series of bends. So after hitting the 14th fret on the high E string, we bend the 16th fret up a half step and then play it normally. Then 14, back to 14, then bend it up 16th fret again, and play it normally again. Then so that's a bend and release on the 16th fret of the high E string, half step bend and release. Then 14 on the high E to 17 on the B. Then 16 on the B to 17 to 14. Then before we start the melody over again, you quickly hear these two notes. That's 16, 14 on the G. So all together we have this slowly. So then you repeat the melody again twice, and then instead of doing that little lick, you do this. So after you do the melody again twice, and then you do 14 on the high E string, 17 on the B, then bend the 17th fret on the high E string of full step. Lots of vibrato on it. Then bend the 21st fret, 21st fret on the high E string, full step. Then try to bend the 22nd fret up a full step if you can. Alright, and then that's the end of the solo. So you hold that for a little bit, just keep that bent up with lots of vibrato, and then that just going on underneath it as alongside the solo, and those chords just keep on running for the rest of the song. And the chorus fades out with "Don't Stop Believin'," the part Steve Perry is singing. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know down in the comments any song recommendations that you'd like me to teach, or any other video ideas, whether it's Journey songs or any other songs. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.